Hi, I'm Ashley McCullough, and today I'm going to be talking about option one on our final project prompt about political ambition and why women are not running in America, why they're underrepresented, how that affects Americans, and maybe some ways we can support them and help them so that they will feel able and prepared to run. So first of all, I think that it's important to note that America lags behind the rest of the world when it comes to political representation for females. And It Still Takes a Candidate by Lawless and Fox, the authors found that America comes 85th in the world when it comes to women represented on the national level in politics. But that's not to say that women can't get elected. It just is to say that they're not really running. Lawless and Fox found that women generally do pretty well when they run, but the problem is they're not running, and the most qualified women are not engaging in politics. And so the question becomes why. And I feel that comes at that stage of the political ambition, that candidate emergence factor. And In a recent news article, it found that although in recent years Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton becoming Secretary of State and running for president, Sarah Palin running for vice president, all those things have brought emphasis on women in America in politics, that doesn't cover up the dearth of underrepresentation in state, local, legislative, mayor roles that women are just not being represented in. And I think there are a number of reasons why women don't run, but I found the most convincing to be the second shift phenomenon, where women are expected to give their all in the workplace, and yet also are expected to come home and handle the lion's share of, raising their families and doing those traditional family roles that are often interesting to women. And Lawless and Fox found that men don't really suffer from this as much as women, because they are not expected to, you know, handle all of the child rearing or handle all of the housework, where women are expected to do it all. And because they're doing both of those and trying to give their all to both of those, it's kind of hard to try to imagine taking on a third career of politics. And This is why many women wait. We found in the book Cracking the Highest Glass Ceiling, Hillary, a lot of actual examples from around the world of female candidates, but one from America is Hillary Clinton, who did not run for office until after her daughter was already raised, and we found in the book Notes from the Cracked Ceiling from Anne Kornblatt is that someone like Janet Napolitano, who doesn't have a family and doesn't have children, will be more likely to run because she doesn't have that pull either. But the problem presented there is women who don't have families or don't have children are often seen as not traditional or unusual or not relatable, because women are supposed to be mothers. And But that also creates a problem for young mothers or mothers of young families, like we found in the same book about Sarah Palin, where she was criticized for, just having a baby and having young children, and people would ask her, who's going to take care of the kids, and that's not really something that men get asked or that's put on men. So it seems that the best, or the most successful candidates are women who have already raised children, but that cuts out a lot of qualified women who do have young families but just aren't able to devote themselves to politics at this time in their lives, especially because of this second shift theory. So the fact that women are underrepresented as a whole really affects us as a society and as a nation. So one of the ways that it affects us is differences in the issues covered. Lawless and Fox found that women traditionally cover more issues like, and this is on the state and local level and national level, education, children, food stamps, abortion rights, these things that are brought to the table a lot more by female politicians than by males. And if women are not in office, then these issues may not be as covered as often or as brought to the forefront as they would when women are in office. And That's echoed by Nancy Pelosi in her Salon article, where she, says that there needs to be a diversity in the issues that we covered, and in our thinking and representation in all aspects. And if women are not accurately represented, then half of the issues that are important to half of Americans are not going to be accurately represented as well. So there's a big problem there. Secondly, there's a general difference in the way women lead. Lawless and Fox found that women are more democratic, communal, while men are more hierarchical and focus more on climbing that ladder. And so I feel like our country will be run differently if more women are in power, because more women will be leading in this way generally. Um, and thirdly, role models. It found that as presented, the Lawless and Fox research found that as more female legislators came into power, more women in their state felt more uh, sense of political efficacy. And that also came with young adolescent girls and women feeling more empowered in politics. And so if more women are in office, more women who they represent are more likely to become more active in politics. And if women become more active, then that will make our system truly more democratic, as represented, um, as they are more accurately being a representation of the constituency. And so I think those three things are extremely important to our society. And so the question is now, how do we solve the problem? Nancy Pelosi, in that Salon article, offered maybe more childcare, at an affordable rate, and so that women can feel comfortable leaving their children as they go. But I think that the most convincing way to support these women is sort of the idea that the Slaughter article brought up, is the fact that women, maybe in our digital age, there's more opportunity for more flexible schedules, the ability to sort of, Skype in once, have a day where they can work it from home and Skype in once a week, or, more flexible hours, more better work schedules, and maybe that way they can be more efficient in their work, less stressed, more able to give their all to their family and their work, and then therefore feel like they can, okay, I can take on running for office. Because right now they're stretched so thin. And maybe that 8 to 5 workday isn't really what is working anymore. And by changing around that in the business world, many of these intelligent, high-powered women who would be great leaders could feel like they would be able to give to that third career. And I think that that is one concrete solution. And another is organized support. Studies show from the Lawless and Fox book that, organizations like She Should Run, the Emily List, things that empower women and let them know that they can be effective candidates and support them. And this also comes down to support from their own parties as well, can help women to feel like that they can do it and they should do it, and that they have something to give and something to offer. So by telling these women, recruiting these women who are doing these big things, helping them to feel like it's something that they can do and something that they should take on, then they will be more likely to represent the country, and really, so that the best and the brightest can be leading, which is what we really want, and to have that accurate democracy where women and men are equally represented. And I think that these solutions will hopefully help that process.